Gulliver is a British surgeon who serves as a ship's doctor, traveling to various countries. During one sea voyage, the ship encountered a storm and capsized. Gulliver drove to an island called Lilliput. He drank some bottles of wine on the shore, then fell asleep. When he woke up, he found himself tied up by a group of tiny people. These tiny people called Lilliputians. Gulliver is released after signs a contract not to harm the people. He experienced many things there, and finally returned to England. On his next voyage, he encountered monsoons, leading to being lost and eventually arriving in Brobdingnag. This is Giant's Kingdom. While the government there is friendly and the political system seems good, Gulliver is dissatisfied. He proposed the English political system to the king, who rejects it. After residing there for a while, Gulliver decided to leave and eventually return to England. 2 months after his return, Gulliver, invited by distant relatives, set sail again but falls victim to Dutch and Japanese pirates. He ends up on a floating island named Labuda, where the kingdom used magnets to make the island float. However, the people are obsessed with abstract knowledge, neglecting social interaction and practicality, implementing oppressive rule without considering the citizens. Leaving Laputa, Gulliver visits Lapta, Bani Barbary, Laganaka, Galudoche, and Japan. In Japan, he received assistance from the emperor and boarded a Dutch ship to return to Europe. In his final journey, Gulliver reached the land of the Hurons, where intelligent horses control everything. Although seemingly utopian, the land also has yahoos, considered lowly creatures used as labor and food without rights. Initially viewed as a wise yahoo, Gulliver is drawn to the beauty of the land. However, influenced by the government's plan to eliminate yahoos, Gulliver returns to England. Due to the impact of the land, he despises humanity, spends his life in a stable, communicating only with horses.
We used to think that Gulliver's Travels is children's book, but after reading it, we changed our mind. It is more realistic and dark. Most of the content is satirizing British society and politics. In the story, Gulliver's first voyage is to Lilliput. This is an island full of tiny people. In this nation, political parties are divided into two, high hills and low hills. These two political parties were always fighting, causing the society in a state of chaos. The author used this phenomenon to satirize the British partisanship. His second voyage was to Brobdingnag. The society here is relatively harmonious, and when Gulliver shared Europe's political system with the king couldn't accept it and criticized those systems. The king's strictures are what the author wants to criticize about Britain, such as official selection and corruption. The third voyage, Gulliver went to Laputa, a floating island. Kings and nobles are living there. The civilians are on the island below. If civilians rebel, the king will let the floating island descend and crush them. This is a satire on the British colonial rule of Ireland. In his last voyage, he traveled to Hurons and became arrogant. He sees himself as a noble horse after traveling there. Don't communicate with other humans. This is a satire on the cruelty and greed of human society.